Oh boy, what a difference 24 hours can make. Welcome to your SmackDown review for January the 26th, 2024. This is the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. Vince McMahon is gone for real this time. Actually, like officially, no longer will he be creeping his pathetic waste of a human life into anybody's life in WWE again. Because yesterday, the most disturbing shit that I've ever read in my life, that I'm not going to read here because that you can go read that on the internet. It's out there. You can go to Fightful. You can go to Wrestle Talk. You can go to everywhere else where that's out here, where he is being sued for sexual misconduct, basically the R word. And I'm not going to say that word here because I just don't feel comfortable talking about that kind of stuff on this show. I didn't cover any of this stuff when it was going on 2 years ago. Because again, I didn't feel comfortable about it. I didn't feel comfortable covering I don't like talking about this kind of stuff. It's disgusting, it's vile, and it just makes you want to puke everywhere. But what I am going to do is read the email that was sent out by WWE President Nick Khan. This is a tweet that came out from Sean Ross Sapp at 8:33 p.m. while WWE was 30 minutes into SmackDown, saying, quote, "Major news, Vince McMahon resigned from all roles within TKO. The following statement was sent to some staff." Here's what Nick Khan had to say, and I quote, I wanted to inform you that Vince McMahon has tendered his resignation from his positions at TKO as TKO Executive Chairman and the TKO Board of Directors. He will no longer have a role in both TKO corporate holdings and the WWE. Here is what Fightful, we can look folks at Fightful Select, go follow them. Sean Ross Sapp does some great work over there. Here's what Fightful Select had to say about the matter here. He says, and I quote, "Vince McMahon is no longer involved with WWE and or TKO amid the allegations and lawsuit regarding abuse for forcible sex and many other allegations. Vince McMahon has resigned from all his positions in TKO and WWE." Nick Khan sent out the internal memo, which I just read here. WWE did not further comment on the matter. McMahon, I'm not going to read his stupid ass his statement because his statement is irrelevant here. So, fuck you and your statement. But I'm not going to read any of that here. But, yeah. So, he's gone. Good. Now, yes, I do agree. Get rid of the other people that were involved here. But I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to say it right now, and people are going to think I'm full of shit for saying this. They're not going to get rid of Triple H. Because once they do, they have no one else to run that that creative chair at all. They don't have anybody else to actually physically run the day-to-day stuff we see on television. And I'm sorry, Shawn Michaels is not going to be that guy. They're not going to give Shawn Michaels all that. Brock Lesnar, he may be gone because here's what the Fightful Select had reported yesterday, saying, possible spoiler for the Royal Rumble. There are naturally a lot of potential Royal Rumble surprises, but one that could not changing for obvious reasons. Recently, Fightful reported that Brock Lesnar was set for a WWE return this week. Fightful had learned that Royal Rumble was originally discussed as a potential target. This was reiterated. I think this was reiterated to Fightful on Thursday, but it was noted that in the light of Lesnar's implied inclusion in the Vince McMahon lawsuit, that may change. So the idea, the rumor, speculation out there was for Brock Lesnar to enter the Royal Rumble tomorrow night and set up his potential possible program with Gunther. That seems to be no longer happening, and I'm telling you right now, there's a very good chance we may never see Brock Lesnar in a WWE ring ever again. So, I'm not going to say any more much about this stuff because I just don't care. It's not that I don't care, it's just I don't feel comfortable talking about all of that stuff. But I am going to go on to some bizarre news that happened as well, as there was a weird-ass report that I've pretty much figured out was fake the moment I saw it, which I believe came out on Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday. It was either Tuesday or Wednesday the story came out. Sports Illustrated put out a report saying, by the way, before I continue, I just want to say, if you want to follow the social medias, Pile Driver Pulse on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Also the other audio outlets as well, which is Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and Pandora, because Google Podcast and Stitcher discontinued, so you're not going to be able to see the show out there as well. Now back to my whole thing with the Sports Illustrated. Justin Barrasso was not the most reliable source, put out a article stating that Cody Rhodes was not going to finish his story at WrestleMania. The match now was going to be Cody Rhodes and CM Punk, Rock versus Roman, and what was the other match? Gunther and Rollins. He only did, and this is only based off of what happened on Monday, which was the amazing promo segment with Punk and Cody Rhodes. That was designed not to set up WrestleMania. It was designed to put the focus on the Royal Rumble, because those two are the favorites to go into the Royal Rumble on tomorrow. I'm still going with CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble. My prediction has not changed. And they claim that this news article was quote unquote set in stone. And here is what WrestleVolts had to say about the Sports Illustrated thing here. So this is saying, regarding the Sports Illustrated / WrestleMania 40 report, after speaking to a few of my own contacts, I believe the following: those three matches, like I mentioned, Cody, Punk, Roman, Rock, and Gunther Rollins, could happen in Philadelphia. However, the set in stone, quote unquote, set in stone nature of the article is a little naive, I've been told. A source also relayed that WWE is not happy with the report in general, especially labeling it as, quote, sources close to Triple H, end quote, as if he would be so open to this type of specific information. Yeah, like he would tell some schmalls on the internet that, hey, so-and-so is winning the Royal Rumble. This match is happening. And he's not going to tell somebody who's going to win the Royal Rumble. Are you out of your fucking mind? Here's what Fightful has to say, because they had a report following this as well, saying, and I quote, there are many rumors about the Royal Rumble, including some major ones that emerged this week, which is, I believe this happened on, I want to say Tuesday. Was that Tuesday? No, it was a Wednesday, so I was right. It was a Wednesday, which is, like I said, Wednesday. Per Sports Illustrated, the word was that Gunther was set to win the Royal Rumble, and claimed that he was also slated to unseat Seth Rollins in a squash match at WrestleMania for the title. In addition, it was also stated that Cody Rhodes was not slated to main event WrestleMania and would not be finishing his story. Those close to several sources mentioned in the article said that the adjustment would be news to them. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk was actively the plan as at least as of last weekend, and Rollins was hopeful that he would be good to go, despite his MCL and meniscus tears. Despite the face-to-face promo as was seen on Raw, Punk and Rhodes was not the plan for WrestleMania, at least as relayed to them, but was absolutely a match that was in consideration at any given time, which means this match could happen at SummerSlam, at Backlash, at Bash in Berlin, at Survivor Series, at Fastlane, or what was the other? Payback, or or maybe Money in the Bank. Heck, could be saved for next year's WrestleMania, you know. But Fightful continues. Another said that as far as the original plans for Rhodes at WrestleMania, it's been taxing for months. It's been a taxing month regarding those all the rumors. WWE officials would not confirm or deny any elements of the Sports Illustrated story, either on record or on background. As one said, it would defeat the purpose of anything playing out on their weekly television series, which Triple H does not like going away from. When he has a plan set in motion, he goes through with those plans. He doesn't have the sex pest in his ear telling him we're going to change things. Thank God. Where was I? Oh, so let me continue what Fightful said here. They also said they expected that some of the story would be amended ahead of the Royal Rumble. The story actually shifted Gunther at the top of the Royal Rumble betting odds, which I don't think is. I still think, as of right now, CM Punk, I believe, is now back to being the favorite to win the Royal Rumble. WWE sources spoke to Fightful and said that they've long seen Gunther as a top talent, but were befuddled by the detailed plans involving top angles and specific claim results. Those we spoke to in WWE spoke highly of Sports Illustrated, and the author said that they were confused by the elements of the story. They cited the implication that Damian Priest would need to cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase by WrestleMania, which is not the case. Those we spoke to said that even if that was the plan to creative, there's a great chance it could have been and would have been altered due to the story. Fightful has not learned any specific plans as to who is slated to win the Royal Rumble or headline WrestleMania 40 for both nights. Fightful did add an update that since we published this, the Sports Illustrated has basically rescinded their story and was told bad information or whatever. Like, no, you just straight up told an opinion piece and took it out like it was a true story, which it was not. So there is that. Let's get into SmackDown, though. SmackDown, I thought, was a pretty good show all overall. Didn't care for the main event because Solo Sikoa just bores the shit out of me. We saw two main roster debuts tonight, technically. I don't know if he's a main roster debut fully, but he did come out. We've seen the main roster debut of Elektra Lopez, which I don't know if they're doing anything with her, because I did watch NXT this week. I was curious to see, what was it? The whole thing with because William Regal came back to television this week. I was going to see what he was going to do on the show, because there was reports of that coming around from Fightful, that he was going to be on the show. He was. We don't know what's going to happen next with William Regal, but I'm excited to see what they do with him. I'm predicting he may replace Adam Pearce on Raw, and we have Regal and Nick Aldis, the Battle of the Brits, as GMs. Which, I miss William Regal's thing, War Games, but But I don't know. They feel like they're still doing a storyline with Lola Vice, and I think is her name Lola Vice? I know it's Lola, but I don't know if it's Lola Vice. Let me look here. Give me a second. Let me go. Nope. Wrong. That's the wrong thing. I for some reason clicked on the Stardom, which I'm gonna get in. I am gonna bring up this Julia story. I'll save the Julia story for Sunday, because plans apparently have changed for Julia when it comes to what she's going to do when her contract expires. Let me go here. I believe it is Lola Vice. Is it not? Yes, no, I was correct. It was Lola Vice. And so she is currently doing a storyline with Elektra Lopez on NXT, but I don't know if they're going to continue with it here. Lola Vice is a former mixed martial arts fighter, so we'll see what happens here. I don't know if Elektra Lopez has been called up full time though. That's the thing. I'm trying to figure that out. So we will see if that's the case or not. I don't know. Apparently, I mean, well, I'm gonna go to the WWE website and see if she's been called. Nope, not her. So she still has listed as the NXT thing here. And Trick Williams is on the show helping out Carmella Hayes. Trick Williams, of course, will be challenging Ilya Dragunov for the NXT Championship at Vengeance Day. I almost called it Battleground. They did just announce Battleground here. But Corey Graves, who is filling in, or not for Corey Graves, he's a long-time lead. Michael Cole is filling in the lead play-by-play thing because yesterday, amidst the whole fucking craziness that went down with Vince McMahon, before that, it came out that Kevin Patrick had been released by WWE. Now, there are some fucking weirdos out here, like there's some really stupid people on the internet claiming that people got what they wanted and wanted him fired. No, that's not what we wanted. We wanted him off commentary, the commentary booth. That's what we wanted him off of, not television or him lose his job. He was great at doing the backstage interviews. He was great at doing the WWE pay-per-view panels as an analyst. He was great at doing whatever that show was, Lowdown or Raw Talk or whatever those shows are, or some of the discussion stuff that he was doing for WWE media, social media stuff. He was great at that. I had no problems with him doing that stuff. He just did not fit the role of a lead play-by-play guy. So Michael Cole, as of right now, for the time being, he claims it's a one-time thing. They may have a person now. I don't know. They might. To me, I think they're just going to call it Vic Joseph. But I still need Vic Joseph. If they're going to bring up Vic Joseph, they need him to sound authentic, because on NXT he sounds like somebody's sticking him with a fork in his leg, and he's all that shit. Because that shit got annoying real fast on Raw when he got called up to do the commentary team with Dio Madden and who the fuck was the other guy? Was Jerry Lawler? Yeah, that shit was fucking dumb. But I'm assuming it's Vic Joseph. So again, you didn't have to fire the guy. I mean, he wasn't hurting anybody. Everybody liked him backstage. He didn't need to be fired. You should just take him off commentary. Hell, put him in NXT. He could have learned a few things there. That's what NXT does. You're supposed to learn. I mean, for God's sakes, Baron Corbin is actually thriving and doing a better job down in NXT than he ever did on the main roster. Just saying. Anyways. But we opened up with Randy Orton. Randy Orton came out. Says Roman Reigns has held the undisputed WWE Universal Championship for almost 1,300 days, and that's virtually unheard of. He says no one can stop him or the bloodline except for him. Talking about Randy's talking about himself stopping the bloodline and Roman Reigns. He says once all the dust clears and the smoke settles, the only one that will matter is 15. Oh, the only number that would 15 because then he'll become a 15-time world champion after he wins the Fatal 4-Way match at the Royal Rumble on tomorrow night. He says he plans on doing that by beating Roman Reigns with an RKO. AJ Styles comes out and he asks Orton if he realizes that there are other people in the match and tells him that he asked Nick Aldis for a match against Solo Sikoa to take his head off, but instead he was awarded with a match with LA Knight. Says that as long as Orton has been in WWE, he should know better before he brings up their history. LA Knight's music hits. He comes out of the ring and says he wants to talk to the fans, then brags that how he wins the Fatal 4-Way. Sorry, excuse me for yawning there. Says that everyone is stepping all over him, and asks AJ Styles if he really thinks that he wants to fight Solo Sikoa. And he says he sees 4 men in that ring, and given that he's the only one who has a match, Paul Heyman did what he could to soften him up for tomorrow night. He says he'll fight whoever he has to, and he says he'll walk over whoever he has to become WWE champion. Because every time they keep saying WWE champion, that tells me that Roman is losing the championship at WrestleMania, and they're getting rid of I think they're going to get rid of the Universal Championship. They need to bring back the WWE title and bring back the Winged Eagle title. If Cody Rhodes is winning the title, I want Cody to bring back the Winged Eagle title. I think he's the one who has the power. Well, I mean, now that Vince isn't around anymore, I don't think WWE should give a shit what their titles look like. I think personally, Vince is the reason why the titles look the way they do, and I think Triple H is going to be like, we can honor the classic Winged Eagle title and make an updated version of the title for a modern Winged Eagle title, or they just bring back the original one. Because they sell the Winged Eagle titles without the WWF logo on it. So, just do that. LA Knight heads to the back, leaving AJ in the ring with Orton. AJ delivers a Pele kick to Orton, and they do all that stuff there. Next up, we got Santos Escobar versus Carlito. This match was supposed to take place at the Survivor Series, and they did a storyline with Carlito getting taken out and all that stuff here. This match didn't really do much of anything here. This was basically just to set up Santos Escobar, to set up the debut of Elektra Lopez, because as everything was going on here, Escobar rips Carlito's shirt from him, and his athletic tape because he had a taped shoulder because he was selling the injuries that he had suffered at the hands of Santos Escobar before the Survivor Series in November. Delivers a few elbows to the sad injured shoulder, all that stuff there. Then, so Humberto hops up at one point. Humberto hops up on the ring apron, captures the referee's attention, allowing Garza to send Carlito crashing out of the ring. LWO then goes after Angel and Humberto. Cruz del Toro goes flying off the top and to level everyone. Elektra Lopez came out of nowhere and just started beating up Selena Vega, who was out there, allowing Santos Escobar to roll up Carlito for the win, and Santos Escobar gets the win. And it looks like Elektra Lopez is on this main roster, which is great. So we'll see what happens there. It does seem like they are setting up perfectly the everything is aligned here because let's go to the LWO. Let's go to the LWO here, right? So we're going to the LWO here. So the current version of the LWO with Rey Mysterio out as of right now, because he was legitimately had legit knee surgery. You'll only have outside Carlito. You have Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro. This, to me, sets up perfectly for one Andrade Cien Almas to get into this storyline and now being forced to choose between Santos Escobar or Selena Vega in the LWO. And I think in the end, he's going to choose Selena Vega because you just cannot bring Andrade back to WWE and then not pair him up with Selena Vega. That would just be fucking ridiculous. So that's what I think in that department there. We went to a commercial break. Once we came back, we seen the new NXT General Manager, Ava Raine, the current daughter. Well, current, what am I talking about? I was like, he's almost like a story. The daughter of The Rock, who is in on the TKO board of directors, or board. I don't know if it's board of directors, just board. It's not coincidence here. She was knighted basically by one of, if not the greatest general manager in the history of WWE, Mr. William Regal. They were meeting. She met with Nick Aldis, probably discussing what NXT talent would probably pop up in the Royal Rumble tomorrow night. And what I loved about this, they brought back the Tumblr. That's some old school shit. I loved it when they did that back in the day, where you would have segments throughout the night. Well, they did this during the Royal Rumble back in the day, but I prefer if they were doing it the week of the Royal Rumble instead of doing it on the Royal Rumble. But anyway, the last time they did this was what was it? The 2017 Royal Rumble? I think so. Let me look here. Doing a live look here. I think that's the 2017 Royal Rumble. Let's see. Let me see. I think it was. Let me look here. I'm trying to look up Sami Zayn here. Give me a second. I know Sami was in this Royal Rumble. I think it's the 2017 Royal Rumble because I was correct. Yeah, it was the 2017 Royal Rumble because they did it. That was the last time they did it. But now that there's general managers, they can do it. And I'll do it. Never just keep doing it every year. Don't take it away. It's a great concept. So Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits walk in. Lashley draws his number for his spot in the Royal Rumble. Santos Escobar does the same when his group comes in. We play a video package of Bayley reflecting on her history with WWE, the WWE performance and her journey in the company through thus far ahead of the Royal Rumble. If they do all of this, because all these video packages and having her do all the media outlets and interviews and stuff like that, and she doesn't win the Royal Rumble, just saying. Well, she hasn't really done in like any media press today or the week of, and usually that tells you a lot of things. Because I remember when they did the not the Royal Rumble, what was the other show that the show they did in London, Money in the Bank, that both Io Shirai and Damian Priest did not do any media to promote anything. Everyone else did media for the match. Stratus did the media for the match. Becky Lynch did media for the match. Finn Balor did media for the match. Finn Balor wrestled on in the world title match. Who else was on there? I think Pete Dunne, because he was, doing some stuff on there. I think I think Sheamus was injured, right? Who else was in that Money in the Bank ladder match? Let me look here. Money in the Bank. Let me look here. Who was in that match? Okay. So I know LA Knight was doing it. I think Logan Paul was doing it. Ricochet was doing it. Santos Escobar was doing press. Becky, Trish, Selena, Zoe they were doing. Bailey was even doing press for it. The people who were not was Io Shirai and Damian Priest. And what happened? They ended up winning their matches because it just made sense. It just made sense. And when I predicted the show, I said it's going to be Damian Priest and Io Sky, because the way I figured it out is once I figured out they didn't do presses, I'm like, yeah, they're winning their match. Technically, I mean, Bailey really hasn't done, but like I said, I mentioned CM Punk. He is my prediction to win the men's, and Bailey is my prediction to win the women's. R-Truth picks his drawing number. He's a little upset here because he thinks he's something else, and they tell him, no, it's your number for the Royal Rumble match. So I thought it was pretty funny here. Then we got in my opinion, the match of the night here. We had Katana Chance and Kayden Carter defend the women's tag team titles against, in my opinion, the greatest women's tag team champions that this company has ever had, the Kabuki Warriors. This match was a lot of fun. Kabuki Warriors are great. Asuka is great. Kairi Sane is great. Kayden and Katana can be great when they want to be. So let's see how long this match was. Do we have? It was 9 minutes. A great 9. Believe it or not, for 9 minutes, it was a really good match, and I enjoyed it. So, the Kabuki Warriors at one point were started double teaming on Katana Chance. Katana Chance low bridges the legal Asuka out of the ring through the middle rope, then tosses an interfering Kairi out of the ring onto the other side. Asuka locks in the ankle. I must say the Asuka lock, the ankle lock on Katana Chance. Chance was able to fight her off, then tags in Kayden Carter. Carter delivered a cross body to the Kabuki Warriors outside the ring. Then gets Asuka back into the ring, delivers a running boot to her face. She delivers a springboard leg drop, but Kairi tags in before the Kabuki Warriors double team on Kayden Carter. Sane delivers a spinning back fist to her spinning back fists look like they just kill somebody. Okay, like she learned from Maja Kong with those damn things. Okay, it takes me back to because she did it not once but twice. I believe it was the same people, the same person, because whatever it is, Kairi has an issue with Kairi in the trash can land has issues with what the fuck is her name? She like disappeared after this match. What the fuck is her name? Shotzi, that was her name. And when she did that, not once but twice, she did in the War Games match, and then she did it again in the street fight thing. It sounds like a gunshot going off. Is what it sounded like. It's beautiful. But anyway, they look to land the after party, which then Kairi takes the hit for Asuka. Sends Katana crashing into the announce desk, which the reverse Alabama slam, which looked nasty, and the crowd pops for it. In the ring, Carter looks to rope Asuka, but Asuka kicks out, delivers a kick to the midsection. Kairi tags in, sends to the top rope with the insane elbow. And what I thought was pretty cool here is not only did she, because Asuka had her in the position for like a scorpion death drop. It was like an insane elbow scorpion death drop combination. And it looked fucking awesome. And I'm like, I need this move in 2K24 because That was just awesome. That's a great tag team maneuver to have for the Kabuki Warriors if Kyrie is in the game. I feel like Kyrie's going to be like a DLC character in the game. Or, you never know. You never know. 2K may surprise us and just have Kyrie in the main base game. Who knows? But Kyrie Sane and Asuka are once again the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And also history was made tonight because much like what Triple H did with NXT with Asuka and I'm Mr. Shayna Baszler, Asuka and Nakamura, for the first time ever in WWE history, 3 Japanese professional wrestlers, Japanese-born professional wrestlers, hold championships at the exact same time. Those people being the WWE Women's Champion Io Sky and the Kabuki Warriors. Love it. Now the stage is set for Bayley to hopefully win the Royal Rumble. Continue to see Tease going after Rhea Ripley, and eventually in the end actually challenge Io for the title because that is the match set for WrestleMania. It's right in people's faces. People don't seem to understand it, but it's right in the faces of everybody. It's going to be Io and Io and Kyrie. I wish it was Io and Kyrie. Those two would tear it up, or the triple threat match people want to see. We'll see those matches eventually, but it's going to be Io, Bayley. They're going to tear it up at WrestleMania in Philadelphia when we get to that as well. So Bayley and Bianca pick their numbers here. Bayley doesn't look happy about it, so I'm assuming she's got 1 or 2. And from the looks of what we saw with Bianca, it may be number 7, but I'm not entirely sure. Or it could be number 1. So we'll find out tomorrow night. Then we come out to probably the most boring thing on the show. Well, one of the most boring things on the show. Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits meet the final test of Man in the Ring. This is boring. Like, the crowd did not give a shit. They were running, carrying cross. This thing is a failure already. Crowd obviously does not give a shit about the Final Testament. I don't care about the Final Testament because WWE hasn't given me a reason to give a shit about Karrion Kross. I liked what Karrion Kross did in NXT, but the moment this man was pinned in 3 minutes as NXT champion on his main roster debut against Jeff Hardy, his incredibility of being taken seriously went out the window on that show. And yes, that show was booked by Vince McMahon. But if I'm being honest here, ever since he's come back under Triple H, still hasn't been booked properly. He's just not clicking with the audiences. It's just what it is. Kross's best match of the main roster was with Nakamura, but that's because Nakamura has an aura about him. It's just what it is. So, again, the Street Profits and them start brawling with that hair. Scarlett jumps on the back of Lashley. Kross slides into the ring and blindsides Lashley. The Authors of Pain get in the ring with the Street Profits and attack them. And that was how that dumb segment ended. It was terrible. Then we got Jimmy Uso drawing his number for the Royal Rumble. And then we got Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. Not Grayson Waller, Austin Theory. Carmelo Hayes and Austin Theory. I believe they were running this match back because last time they had a match, I believe it was during the week where they taped SmackDown for the following week. Or was it the following week? You know, it was taped during the time that they had to tape the SmackDown episode for Christmas. And they both got concussed here. This match didn't last long. Carmelo Hayes at one point delivered a pair of back elbows at levels of Austin Theory. Sends Austin Theory crashing to the mat, face first, sends the top turnbuckle. Grayson Waller then tried to get the attention of Carmelo Hayes. This opens up the door for Theory to pull pull him off and flip him inside out, whatever, in the shoulders here. Waller hops up on the ring apron again, but Mello was able to knock him off. Rolls up Theory, hits the Theory hits a reverse. The fall, reverses the fall, grabbing into the basically for a roll up, and Austin Theory gets the pin. After the match, Carmella Hayes is getting beat up by both Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Trick Williams comes down to the save here. Massive pop for Trick Williams. I was not expecting that. The crowd knows exactly who Trick Williams is. There was a whoop that trick chant. They came out fucking. It was loud. Good on the main roster crowd for giving a shit about an NXT arrival that they've never seen before. So that was great to see. Next up, we had Solo Sikoa, Randy Orton. I'll give you a guess. I'll give you a wild fucking guess of how this match ended. I'll let you guys know in about 10 seconds. I'm gonna let you guys think about it. There's gonna be a 10-second silence here, okay? And I want you to tell me in the comments during this 10 seconds pause what the finish of this match was. In 3, 2, 1. That is correct. A double disqualification, because that's what these fucking matches with the Bloodline are in. Why even bother covering this match? This was, first of all, this Solo Sikoa is a boring ass fucking wrestler, and you know what? If I'm being honest, John Cena was right when he called him just a bargain basement Taz ripoff. This is boring. Bloodline match into the double disqualification. Not shocked at all. That's what happens with these stupid matches. But they all get their shine in here. Randy Orton thinks he's a standing call here as AJ Styles gets in here. He gets dropped. Orton hits an RKO on AJ Styles. Out of nowhere, BFT from LA Knight, and then Randy Orton ended up standing call at the end of the match, and that's how this show went off the air. So that was SmackDown. I give SmackDown let's see, take the Vince stuff aside here. I'm going to give SmackDown. I don't rate something out of 10. I rate it like out of 1 out of 5. So I'm going to go with a solid 3. I thought the tag team title match between the Kabuki Warriors and the House Party gang was very, very fun. I love the finish of the Insane Elbow Scorpion Death Drop combination. That was pretty cool. I did notice something though, which I thought was a wholesome moment. Kyrie Io coming out, both with tears in her eyes. Actually, not tears. She's smiling from ear to ear. Kyrie has some tears in her eyes as Io basically got to see her best friend win a championship in WWE in front of her eyes, which I thought was a beautiful, beautiful, wholesome moment and all that stuff here. So yeah, Trick Williams. I don't know what his future is on the main roster. It does look like Elektra Lopez though is on SmackDown, a part of the new Legado del Fantasma. Hopefully we'll see Andrade tomorrow night in the Royal Rumble. Didn't care for the main event. I thought the main event was boring as fuck. The Santos Escobar Carlito match didn't really do much for me, but it helped. The ending part was pretty good. Like I said, the women's tag team match was pretty good here. I give the performer of the night to the Kabuki Warriors and Katana Kabuki Warriors, because they are once again the WAW. That's my fucking 2K universe mode. The WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, because they are not the tag team champions in my fucking universe mode. That right now is Black Desire, because I cannot spoil the outcome to the women's tag team title match for that WrestleMania show we have coming up. That right, but technically, as of right now, as me recording this and me saying this, Momo Watanabe and Starlight Kid are the current tag team champions on that thing. Because I don't know why I almost said WAW there. But I don't care about the Final Testament. I kind of I need to see the Authors of Pain wrestle too. But nice to see Trick Williams and get over on the main roster, and he's not had this is his first appearance on the main roster too, which is even better. so yeah, the plan for tomorrow is to do the Royal Rumble review as long as no other fucking weird news breaks. So the plan is still to do the Royal Rumble shout out contest. That is still going on. I've had to remove somebody for the amount of dick riding that was going on for Tony Khan because I just will not stand for that here. So I'm getting rid of it right now. So there's that. I'm getting rid of it right now. And the numbers that was open was 24 on the men's and 10 on the women's. Those now are now open. They're no longer taken. But if you still want to get in on the pool thing, let me know. Because we'll see what happens there. That is tomorrow's fun little game. Let's look at the card currently for the 2024 Royal Rumble pay-per-view event. As for tomorrow night, we have Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Randy Orton, AJ Styles, and LA Knight. Like I said, I went through my predictions on that show. I think, obviously, Roman Reigns is going to retain, obviously. Logan Paul is going to retain against Kevin Owens. And I think, and here's the new names, the updated names for the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches. For the women, we have Bayley, Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Bianca Belair, Maxine Dupree, Ivy Nile, Alba Fire, Shotzi, Selena Vega, and Mia Yim. And then for the men's, we have Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre, Gunther, Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, Kofi Kingston, Damian Priest, Santos Escobar, R-Truth, not Carmella Hayes, Carlito, Grayson Waller, Jimmy Uso, and Austin Theory. And like I said, the winners, my prediction for those matches are CM Punk and Bayley. Other than that, I will see you guys back here tomorrow for Monday Night Raw, for the Royal Rumble, and then Sunday we're going to talk about whatever comes out of the rest of this stuff with the Vince McMahon stuff. We're also going to talk about Julia and the new updates about her contract. Apparently she is going to be just straight up leaving after in March when her contract is up, because she was going to stick around after her contract to finish some dates up. That seems to be no longer the case. And I will give you my prediction, my not my prediction, but my what's the word I'm looking for? My what the fuck is that word I'm thinking of? Fantasy booking idea of, because there's a show coming up on the 4th, which I think I gotta see if the pay-per-view is able to be bought there, because it's the Supreme Fight show, which is on February 4th. See, let me look here. I'm going to look here. Give me a second. Let's go to, I almost said the creative calendar. So let's go here. Yeah, so no, it's not up here yet. Doing a concert for Lucky Star? Anyway, I'm trying to look here. Yeah, so far it's not. But anyway, we'll talk about that on Sunday as well. We'll also talk about the Netflix deal that dropped. on Sunday with the whole WWE Raw going to Netflix, which is a big move. We'll talk about The Rock joining TKO and all that stuff here. We'll go over NXT. We'll go over tomorrow night's episode of Collision that's going to go up on the Sunday show because that could be the final night of Malachi Black in AEW. Who knows? Because the way they've been building it seems like if the House of Black loses tomorrow on Collision, I'm going to make an assumption that one of them may be going out the door. But that is just my speculation there. Who knows? But until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Mr. Wrestling Podcast. I will see you guys here tomorrow for what should be a very good Royal Rumble. All things considered, with everything going on. Stay safe, be kind to one another, and don't be a prick on social media with all this stuff going on here. All right, we don't need any of that. Peace.